Welcome to Java programming. So in this session we are going to discuss how this Java program will work on computer system, how they are executed on computer systems, maybe a desktop computer or laptop computer. So Java program, to write a Java program we use editors. If you are familiar with C or C++ language, to write a C language or C++ language, we have used Turbo C editor or Dev C++ editor, ANSI C editor, Borland C editor or C++ editor. These editors we have used. Similarly, to write a Java program, we are having many editors. You can use simple notepad editor or WordPad editor, or you can use VS Code editor, or you can use Eclipse editor, and like that so many editors are available to develop a Java program. And once you write that Java program in the editor, and that file you have to save with the extension .java. So like C program you are saving with the name with the extension .c. C++ program is saved with the .cpp extension. So like that Java program file should be saved with the .java extension. And after saving the file, Java file, so that Java program file need to be compiled. So to compile Java programming file we use Java compile. So if you are using IDE environment, directly in the you are having a menu bar. So in the menu bar directly you can select Java compiler and compile your program. Suppose if you are using Notepad or WordPad editor, you have to save the file and you have to go to the command prompt and you have to type the command javac followed by file name. So we are going to discuss how this Java program is going to be executed. So once you develop a Java program, that Java program should be given as input to the Java compiler, and Java compiler then converts, it verifies Java program. If any errors are there in the program, it will notifies the user with the syntax or semantic errors along with the line numbers. Then user need to modify the program, correct the errors in the program, again resubmit it to the compiler. So this process between the user and Java compiler will be running until Java compiler finds that the program is free of errors. If the program is free of errors, then Java compiler will convert that Java code, means high level language code. Java is a high level language program. So that Java language code into the intermediate code. So that intermediate code is called bytecode. And this bytecode file means Java compiler generates a separate file. That file contains intermediate code. So that is called bytecode. And this file is having extension .class. Means .class file means it is a file that contains bytecode or intermediate code produced by the Java compiler. And this bytecode is not specific to any kind of processor architecture. It is independent of all processor architectures. And this bytecode is understood only by the Java virtual machine. Only Java virtual machine can understand this bytecode. And this bytecode will be given as input to the Java virtual machine, JVM. JVM stands for Java virtual machine. So Java virtual machine will take this bytecode as input and converts that bytecode into a machine code. Here you have to remember one thing, that is JVM. JVM stands for Java virtual machine. And this JVM responsibility is to take the bytecode and interprets that bytecode. Interprets means it reads line by line, and every line it converts into a suitable machine code on which that JVM is running. So based on the hardware on which the JVM is running, so based on that hardware, the bytecode will be converted into a machine code suitable for that particular hardware. Means bytecode to machine code conversion will be done by the JVM. JVM is a interpreter. It is a interpreter, means line by line conversion will be done by the JVM. And this JVM is platform dependent. It is dependent. Which platform dependent? Hardware or software platform dependent? It is a operating system, means software platform dependent. So JVM is different for different operating system. If you are working with Windows operating system, for Windows operating system you are having a particular JVM. If you are working with a Linux operating system, for Linux you are having a separate JVM. If you are working with a Macintosh operating system, that is Mac operating system, for Mac operating system you are having a separate JVM. So when you are based on which type of operating system you are working with, so a suitable JVM need to be installed on your computer system. So then the JVM will take the bytecode and converts that into the suitable machine code accepted on that particular hardware. So like that JVM converts the bytecode into the machine code. JVM is operating system dependent. For different operating systems you are having different JVMs. Okay, and once the machine code is generated, this machine code contains binary code, pure binary code, that is the all instructions are there in the form of ones and zeros. So this machine code instruction by instruction will be given as input to the operating system. Operating system will take these instructions and makes the computer hardware, laptop hardware or desktop hardware or server hardware, to execute these instructions. Once the instructions are executed, definitely some output will be produced. Operating system will take those outputs and those outputs will be displayed on the screen by the operating system. All input output management will be done by the operating system. Operating system will take the input from JVM and then it will make the hardware to execute those instructions, and whatever output is produced from the hardware, that output will be displayed by the operating system on the screen so that user can see the result. So this is how a Java program is executed on the computer system or laptop system. So here a simple Java program is shown to you to have some idea of how a Java program looks like. So a Java program starts with the class definition. So if you are familiar with C or C++, there you are having a structure. So class in Java is very similar to the structure in C or C++ language. And class is a little advanced data structure than the structure. So class is followed by a class name. Here class name is hello. In the structure we are having a declaration of variables, and those variables are used for storing the data for structure objects. And here also inside the class where we can define variables and the functions. In the structure we do not have functions, but in the class along with the variable declarations you can have functions, and these functions which are defined inside the class, they are called member functions. So here every class definitely it should have a main function. Every class definition should have a main function. You know the significance of main function. In C and C++, every C program or C++ program should have a main function. The main function will mark the beginning of execution of the C program, and the last line in the main program is the ultimate end of the execution of the program. The same logic is followed in Java also. So in a class definitely we should have one main function. The program execution always starts from the main function. The last statements in the main function will mark the end of the execution of that program. The same thing whatever is there in C or C++, same logic is followed here also. And here we have declared public, static, void, main. So these are the keywords. Public is one keyword, static is one keyword, void is one keyword, and main is the user defined function name. And main is taking arguments, string type of arguments. Okay, so all this is the importance of these words that are written along with the main function. So that we are going to discuss in subsequent classes. So just remember this syntax. And then inside the main function I have written one output statement. So in C or C++ language, the output statement is written using printf function in C language. If it is C++, we will use a cout statement to display anything on the screen. So here system.out.println, so is the output statement. If you want to display anything on the screen, so inside the double quotes of this function system.out.println function, you have to write that data inside the double quotes. Whatever you write inside the double quotes of this println function, as easily it is displayed on the screen. So when you execute, once you complete this program in the editor, you have to save that file with .java extension. And here when you are saving a file, Java file, the file name and the class name should be same. Here a class name is given as hello. So therefore Java file name, when you are saving this file, should have hello.java. Means the class name and the Java file name should be same. And when after saving this file, then you have to go to a command prompt, and there you have to type the command to execute your Java program. So what is the command that you are going to execute? There Java C. Java C. C stands for compiler. Java C space your file name dot java, that is hello.java. Java C space hello.java. If you type, then Java compiler will read the Java code that you have written in the hello.java file, and if any errors are there, the user will be notified. If your program contains no errors, then Java compiler will generate an intermediate code in a file called hello.class. Hello.class file will be generated by the Java compiler, and that hello.class file contains intermediate code, or you can say bytecode. And that bytecode you have to give to as input to your JVM, Java Virtual Machine, by invoking the JVM. How do you invoke? So at the command prompt you have to type Java C. Java C. So Java space, if you type hello dot class or simply hello, Java space hello. Hello, if you are writing simply means hello dot, it is nothing but hello dot class. Java space hello dot class if you write, so then that will be taken by the JVM and converts it into the machine language, submits it to the operating system executes your code, and output is displayed by the operating system on the screen. So here .java, it is nothing but extension of your Java source code file. So Java C is a command used to execute your Java file at the command prompt, okay, Windows command prompt. And once you compile the program, a class file is generated with the same file name. So hello.java, if you compile, you are getting hello.class file, and this .class file contains bytecode, and JVM will take this bytecode and executes it, so that you will get the output. So this is how Java is working. Okay, so thank you.